In this video, I'm going to share with you guys 15 of the best lessons I've learned that have improved my practice. All right, now I have to run off to a gig, that's why I'm in a suit, but I'm going to drop these for you real quick. All right, so the first thing that I learned that improved my practice is start off your practice not right on your instrument, but by listening to some music. All right, so for me, I have my record player right here. I just dropped down one of the albums I have of one of the guitar greats. In this case, it's some George Benson, and I immediately want to start practicing. So figure out who that is for you. You probably already know. And then that's going to motivate you. So you don't have to feel like you're motivated once you're on your instrument. The music itself will motivate you. It's a lot easier to get started. Okay, the second lesson I learned is have a set time of day based on your schedule and based on your chronotype for your practice. So what do I mean by chronotype? So this book, When, by Daniel Pink, you guys want to check it out? He talks about chronotype. So this is where your mood is best during the day. And what's interesting here, I made some notes here, different times of day depending on what your optimal chronotype is. For me, I'm an early bird, right? There's early birds, which he calls larks. There's owls, night owls. And then there's also what he calls third birds, which are those people that are in the middle. But something interesting here, he calls this the inspiration paradox. And he says that innovation and creativity are greatest when we are not at our best. So when we are not at that optimal point. So for me, that would mean my inspiration and creativity would be best at night on that other side. And then, well, then what is best in the morning for me to do? And so that would be anything that requires sharpness, vigilance, or focus. So analytic work, I would want to do in the morning as an early bird, a lark. And anything that's more inspirational or creativity, maybe composing, I should say that to the night. So it's really important. Obviously, you have to base this around your schedule as well, so for what works for you. For me, that means I end up doing most of my practice in the morning. Third lesson is design an ideal practice environment. All right, so if you're in college, maybe that means in your practice room, you have everything set up how you like it. Maybe it means you want to make sure all your instruments set, everything you need, all the music books, everything is set. Any sort of water, drinks, coffee, you want it all set up as you prefer. For me, I'm practicing mostly in my room. So that means I leave my guitar out. I have my amp under my desk. Everything is very easy for me to access. And I make sure I have my music all laid out, maybe a practice journal or my Notion app set up on my iPad so that I can take notes of what I do in my practice. So 3, design your ideal practice environment. Hand in hand with that is number 4. You want to eliminate distraction. So we don't always do the best at this, but I want to make sure my laptop is closed, my phone is away or on airplane mode. Usually I'm charging it, and so I have it away from my desk when I'm practicing and charging it. That way my girlfriend's not hitting me up or I'm not answering with texts. And you want to make sure all distractions are eliminated. So, shut your door. Maybe if you're in a practice room, you need to turn away from the door so people don't engage you immediately. Whatever you need to do. People at UNF used to put signs on the door and block that out so that they could really focus. So you want to make sure you eliminate all distractions. So this next lesson is an interesting one that I got from someone who got it from, it's attributed to Ernest Hemingway. And so in his practice, his writing practice, Ernest Hemingway, he would always end his writing sessions stopping his sentence midway. So what I take away from this is that you don't want to end your practice on a clean thing. So say you're practicing a song or practicing an exercise, give yourself a good starting off point in your next practice session. So that the next time you're practicing, you immediately know what you need to work on instead of having to spend that time up front thinking, oh, what am I going to practice? What do I need to do? I just finished that song. What do I want to start next? Always end it in the middle. All right, so end your sentence midway for your practice session, and that'll make it easier for you to jump right in. Okay, so for number 6, this is create a deep work or practice ritual. I'm a big fan of Cal Newport. You might be able to see one of his latest books right behind me. And so he talks a lot about creating a deep work ritual. So what this means is you set things up so your mind and body knows you're going to be engaging in deep work. Now, deep work is focused, very focused work for longer stretches of time. Think like 90 minutes to like about 4 hours. Anywhere in that range. It's very concentrated on one thing. We're not switching tasks a lot. So this correlates a lot with what musicians do as practice You want to be dialed in. And so the deep work or practice ritual means, maybe like for me, it's I get a cup of coffee or I get my Jocko Go and I have all that set up. I'm getting my music set up. I have my guitar, maybe I tune up my guitar, and that gets me ready to practice. So create your deep work or practice ritual. For 7, you want to design your practice routine based on what you've identified as your strengths and weaknesses. All right, so maybe this is harmony, maybe it's rhythm, maybe your time feels not the greatest, maybe you're strong with your repertoire, you know a ton of songs, maybe you don't. You want to think about what areas, big areas in music, you are doing well on and which ones you're not. If you want to get a better idea of practice routine, you should check out Yotam Silberstein's course he did with us called Crafting Your Perfect Practice Routine. I'll link it below. It's a great class from a world-class musician. He describes how he has broken up his practice routine, whether it's fundamentals, harmony, melody, transcribing, learning repertoire, all kinds of things, improvising, rhythm. He talks about it all. But either way, you want to think about that for yourself. Which of these do you need more work on? And which of these strengths maybe you can leverage and make even better. Okay, so for number 8, you want to set practice sprints, not goals. And this idea comes from a lot of Silicon Valley startups. They figured out that by doing 4 to 6 week sprints towards a goal, instead of these vague, general, quarterly or yearly goals, they were making a lot more progress. So what does that mean for your practice? It means maybe instead of thinking, oh, I have this goal of knowing 100 songs, I have this goal of getting better time feel, set a very concrete, specific, and achievable sprint that you can do in about 4 to 6 weeks. So maybe it's, I'm gonna learn these 3 blues songs, or I'm gonna learn a couple choruses through an F blues in these 6 weeks. I'm gonna transcribe this guy, I'm gonna transcribe this other artist, and one more. And that way, at the end of the 6 weeks, you can clearly see you've accomplished that, and you can see what your progress is. So keep it to a 4 to 6 week sprint, and then take some rest, and then go back to another sprint. Maybe switch off to another goal, another type like a chord. Oh, I'm gonna learn solo guitar for 6 weeks and really get a couple more arrangements down for solo guitar. Either way, you wanna think in sprints, not goals. For lesson number 9, you wanna create practice plans based on different time increments. So what do I mean by this? I mean, if you have 15 minutes to practice, or 30 minutes, or 45, or 60, or 90, you should know how that changes your practice routine ahead of time. So what most people do is they know generally what they need to practice, but they don't necessarily know if they have extra 15 minutes, what can they immediately go in and practice and work on. So you should know ahead of time, okay, if I have 15 minutes, I'm gonna work on these fundamentals. Or if I have 30 minutes, I should do this. If I have a full 90 minutes, I can add in these other things. If you guys want me to talk more about that, let me know in the comments, or any of these other previous ones. I can definitely get into more detail on any of these 15 lessons. And actually, while you're at it, if you would subscribe, like, and comment, it helps a ton for us in growing our channel, so I appreciate it. The 10th lesson is you need accountability. Accountability is not something that's nice to have, you absolutely need it. And I think we've all learned this the hard way. Those times when you haven't had a teacher, you haven't made as much progress. Those times when you haven't had a band or a group that really makes you better and you make them better, you don't make as much progress. So reflect on that a little bit. Make sure you can build some accountability into your practice routine. Again, whether that's through an actual teacher, or if you can't afford one, through some sort of community or accountability partner that can keep you in check. The 11th lesson is discipline equals freedom. We're huge Jocko Willink fans here at Jazz Beams. And I think he has the right philosophy on this. So the more you can have discipline in your practice routine, the more structured you are, the more freedom you'll have, because you'll be able to do more with your music. You'll be able to do more with your time. So, everyone knows the story about Coltrane and how disciplined he was working his Slimninsky scales, and how that eventually led to the freedom, his harmonic freedom, through giant steps and the various Coltrane changes that he had developed. So discipline equals freedom. The 12th lesson, and this is one I actually learned from Mulgrew Miller himself when he came to UNF, is he always talked about, man, everyone is transcribing the greats. They're transcribing all of these legends. But what he would do is he would transcribe himself. And now this isn't like an ego trip or anything like that. he would transcribe, he would record himself, and that's going to get to our last one. He would transcribe recordings of himself on the parts that he did that he really liked. So he would figure out, oh, I do this in my playing and I really like that. And it's one of the ways that he started to develop his own unique style and sound. So number 13, I kind of gave it away. It's make sure you record yourself. So record your playings. Maybe that's in your lessons with your teacher, so you can go back and have some reference. Could be you on a gig or in your practice routine. You want to make sure you record yourself, and then listening back, it's going to be some of the biggest eye-opening experience that you will have had. Maybe you'll realize your time isn't as good as you thought it was, or certain parts you weren't really playing through the changes. Either way, it's some of the best feedback you can get. So everyone has their iPhone or some way that they can easily record themselves. No excuses. Set the record button and record yourself. Lesson number 14 is focus on getting 1% better every day. The thing with practice, like a lot of realms, is that the gains you make compound. So just like compound interest or savings in the bank, when you practice and get a certain percentage better, those gains compound each day. So what that means is if you're getting 1% better each day, the math is that you're actually in a whole year, 365 days, you would be getting around 37 to 38 times better than when you started. Now, not only that, if you're getting 1% worse each day, then you'll be about 38 to 39 times worse after the year. So you want to make sure that every day you are making an incremental improvement. This is also why it matters more that you're doing an incremental daily practice and not like a marathon session, like a 4-hour session on a Saturday when you have time. You need to figure out, how do I fit in some daily practice in my schedule, even if it's only 15 minutes. The last lesson, the 15th lesson, is you want to build mastery. There's a great book on this, Robert Greene, Mastery. But even before reading that, mastery in your instrument is always what your focus should be. I know there's a lot now on social media that focuses not so much on mastery, or at least in expressing that, it's focused on the flashiness, and things that impress. But if you talk to any of the legends, they always talk about fundamentals, and the fundamentals is how they build mastery. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to know some more lessons, anything else I can share, please let me know in the comments below. Hope you have a good one.